Hello, my ladies and pretty gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Look What's Happening in the Spirit Realm with yours truly, Light. I'm so giddy because now you can shut up and hear what I'm trying to say. Anyway, to the main topic, I'm going to go straight to the bullseye today. A lot of you are not supposed to die. And you have had contact with your angel, whatever you want to call it, when you were younger. And this memory wasn't forgotten because we cannot anchor down quote unquote magic into the 3D in a form of understanding. It's an inner standing. And so, for those of you who feel like you have certain parts of your childhood or even your adult life missing, there's almost like an absence where you can't quite figure out where you were, what was happening with who. In fact, there's a feeling of, was it even something right that happened? This is for you. You were contacted at that time. You were given a download of the light codes that you were to embody. There is a remembrance taking place on a large scale at this moment, where we are beginning to embody who we truly are. And it's going to be scary for you, let alone for the people who have, in a way, tried to segregate you to a certain aspect of yourself and narrow the spectrum that you naturally embody as an ancient one. When I say you are not meant to die, I mean you are meant to transcend. You are meant to unify all of your selves, which are all in these different dimensions, coexisting with you right now. We are living in the past, the present, and the future. And this is not a lifetime that you haven't been around. This is a memory in many ways. And you have been touched, is what I like to say from now on, to be not just the first, but to be a part of this transcendental part, the pinnacle that we are approaching. I do not know when or where, but it is the rise of God. And it first happens with your assimilation or with your remembrance of all these different aspects of yourself. You look different in all of these dimensions, slightly different. But when you gather all of these parts of you that are quote unquote lost, you become the embodiment of God. And from there, we become the embodiment of God. We have been selected for a pinnacle, a moment when Earth is going to be risen up in many ways, and the new Earth to take place. This is a fantasy for a lot of people who do not consider the spiritual life as being the real one. It is the truth, and everything else is an illusion. You see, a lot of you are being even pulled out of the 3D to live a spiritual life, and not in the sense that is stereotypically spiritual, but the dissonance between you as the spirit and your physical life, your day-to-day life, is being narrowed to the point where you can operate as an ascended one in this reality, thus walking it into the new one. Death only occurs because we are disconnected from God. I had an epiphany recently. What if Yeshua was trying to tell us who and what God is? What if there is a Yeshua in everyone? What if that is the whole point of the internal unity with God? That is the whole thing that's going to seize death and the whole process of rebirth. Because we need to embody everything that we are. the fullness of expression, that is ascension. And there are so many aspects of yourself. I'm going to go and jump to this side note here, or tangent, so to speak, but it's very vital. There's going to be a rushing that comes towards you of the people from your past. By rushing, I mean it's almost like they're trying to save you from yourself, from being completely embodied into the light. And they will not say negative things to you. That is not how they're going to do it. They're going to tell you that you are particularly good at this one thing, because their goal is to make you human, to make you forget. And they're not doing it because they're your enemy. The enemy is doing it because they're ours. If you get it. There's a rushing happening. And I've seen it in the readings that I've done for you, some of you. But it's happening to this collective that I'm speaking to as well. For a lot of you, those who have went through the processes of truly knowing themselves and separating from the 3D and knowing that there is no way back once you have awakened and there is no stopping, they can tell that you have been touched or are known, chosen, whatever you want to call it. You see, a lot of you are going to begin to have interactions with your guides, with whoever you want to believe in is reaching out to you. It's going to be very real, to the point where you are going to look crazy to those you try to explain any of this to, and you cannot explain it because it is something that cannot be articulated, because a lot of these memories that have been lost to you, including the memories of who you were, this is what your guides reached out to you when you were young and spoke to you about. They were almost putting that in a little pocket inside your soul for it to be, it's like a seed, to be reactivated when the right triggers hit. And I will talk about that delicious bit in a bit. These are what we call catalysts. You see, you came knowing the information of who you were, and they embedded that in, so that as the catalysts come into your life, these catalysts I will speak of now they resemble the frequency of your soul tribe. They do. They resemble it almost identically. But there is a hair missing. There is something that isn't quite clicking. You have to grind your gears to make it work, to make it fit, to hold a place for them. And these could have been in the forms of lovers, in the forms of friends, and even siblings. They were, in a way, sent. Oh, I love that word, sent. Who sent you? They were sent. Do they know? Is it their knowledge? Are they even a real person? Well, that's just investigation, isn't it? But the truth is this. They were sent to not stall you. They were sent to send you spiraling into the drain, much like themselves. You see, we would do anything for each other. And we are hungry for real connection. And the quote-unquote enemy knows this. And so, these catalysts did not know that you have been contacted, for those this is resonating with, by your guides, supernaturally healed in many ways, and in several points in your life that you may not even remember, whether it's in your dream or in reality. They had almost given you the blueprint of what to expect in this life that has already been lived. In several different dimensions, might I add. And you might not have known that the inklings that you felt with these, I want to say, imposters, in many ways. And a part of them also knew that they are imposters. It's just that your light is so warm and comfortable and reminiscent of Source, because you are what? Not supposed to die. You are supposed to rise. You are a part of God. You are a part of the new earth. That light code that you were given by your guides was purposefully embedded so that you can reawaken, reactivate, remember the depths of your being, embody who you really are. When that pain struck your chest, it was orchestrated so beautifully, and everything is so choreographed like a movie. Nothing you say is by accident, and it's not a mishap. It's all done so perfectly well. And some of you are like Enoch, right? Meant to walk straight off. It's the truth. It's the truth. There is a depth of belief that you have as an ancient soul. And this is why you were chosen for this. Chosen is such a abused word at this time because of all the different quote-unquote frauds out there. But they do not understand that they are just merely catalysts because you have been touched, guided since the very beginning. I will not keep harping on this point. But expect the rushing. Expect to be a healer. In many ways, you already are. You are here to heal the world, not just a nation. Heal. Earth is supposed to be lifted up. I will say more, but we are not ready for it. We are not ready for it. That's what they're saying. I hope this message resonated with you in the way that it's supposed to. And I want to reiterate this very annoying point. I never comment back and tell you your fate. I will never do that. And the best way to know if I'm commenting or not is to look for the gray shade over the name Light Shield. If it's not there, it's not me. It's not the content creator. It's just somebody with my face on the profile saying horrible things to some of you that I would never say. So I am sorry about that. But aside from that, everything you need to know is in the description box below. My book, everything. Remember that. I want to say one more thing. And this mic is so fuzzy. It's not supposed to be said. I'll leave it at this. 1331.